next segment is open forum discussion. This is a contemporary topic. Is e-commerce a breeding ground for overconsumption and waste? So again, we need negotiations from both the end for and against this topic. Yes, Ms. Zoom.
कम कर दो
और कम कर दो एक बार लिंक पे क्लिक कर दो ना लिंक पे जो सिंबल बना हुआ ऊपर ऊपर
Okay, first subtopic analysis, the rise of, I will provide a brief introduction then we will initiate the discussion. The rise of e-commerce and overconsumption. First, the e-commerce transactions are exponential growing, right? So they are basically in billions of transactions are done annually. Instant gratification, gratification means the pleasure that we get while making frequent, this instant gratification leads to frequent purchases by consumers. Impulse buying, the consumers are tempted to buy the products that are available in e-commerce platform because it is just a click and they can buy the product. Flash sales and subscription, limited time period offers definitely attract consumers to buy more and more with a single click on their by using their smartphones or laptops. Next. Environmental waste in e-commerce. First is packaging waste. Whenever we talk about the packaging of the things that we get, for example, it includes initially a plastic wrap is there, then sometimes it's a bubble wrap, followed by a carton that is in which our product is there. So this is basically adding to the waste the environment is gathering. Next is returns and waste. Various e-commerce platforms, they just float in that easy returns are there, the product is easily returnable with no cost. That is again adding and it is filling up landfills in a very fast pace. What are the solutions? When sometimes the product can be exchanged and can be reused, but sometimes the products are discarded and they are just burned, right? Again, adding to the pollution, to the environment. Next, solutions and corporate responsibility. First, sustainable practices. On the front of producers, they should opt for green production methods, while also they should, inculcate carbon neutral, they should adopt carbon neutral shipping methods so that transportation emissions can be lowered down. Next, consumer responsibility. The consumers again should be mindful in purchasing their products, followed by also they should vouch for resale platforms. There are various resale platforms and they should again go for sustainable brands, the brands that are providing sustainable products. So this was a brief on this topic, so I would request everybody to come up with their views. Thank you.
Just display the title topic of this discussion. Yes, the forum is open. Would you like to start?
Paricharcha ma'am, I would like to agree with the points which you have quoted by sharing an example which I recently did by buying a product which I actually didn't need it. I mean, it was of no use, but then I still bought it. It was a cable holder, a silicone cable holder. And to be very honest, I ordered it on Amazon. I was going through, while at night I was just going through my mobile phone. I saw that particular product and I just clicked on that. It took me to Amazon and I felt it's kaam ka ho sakta hai. So I just purchased it. And when it came, actually it is of no use. Now my kids are using it at night by putting them at the back of their pencils. So to be very honest, that product was useless and I just ordered it because somewhere I was scrolling my mobile phone and I liked it and I ordered it. So totally it is like overconsumption and unnecessarily I am using e-commerce for no use.
I like to add to what she's saying. I do a lot of this. I'm guilty of this. And because going through Insta and Facebook also, we get those targeted ads. And like she talked about impulse buying.
Yes.
Impulse buying is more because we're getting so much of variety. And sometimes we are going in for products which are actually, they look good. Like I purchased recently again, I purchased certain stoles and I did not notice that it was not returnable. Right? And of course it is not fitting me. Size issues. So if it can be given to somebody else, well and good, otherwise it is discarded. Like I would like to add to what Parky said, because I was going through a study and they said this return culture has come because of easy returns we are having, and if it is difficult to resell those products, they are going to the landfills. And one study said that in a 2023 study, they said online shopping levels, they are getting into 3 times more returns than store purchases, number one. And secondly, they say 24 million metric tons of CO2 is due to the returns that are happening every year, right? So there's this return culture, and plus fast fashion, easily accessible, it is cheaper, so we take it and we discard it. That becomes a big problem. And then one more thing, buy more, save more, which I have fallen to many times. That yes, discount milta hai, so rather than taking one thing, I'll think that okay, I'll take 2 and the third would be free of cost, and then it is not usable. So if it can be used, well and good, otherwise again it is returned or it is lying somewhere in my closet and I forget that I have it. Every time I discover new things that I have that also. So we are also guilty of that, and somehow overspending over here, and this is a waste. But of course, if we will be more sustainable in our thinking, or we can reuse it, of course, it might not always be detrimental. That is my take on that.
Now, I'll tell you one thing, because I'm not doing all these activities online, but when I see the family, everything online. Biggest disadvantage, because today they order, tomorrow they will come, and day after tomorrow return, because not fit. So that's created a big problem, because every time they come in and go back, packaging of that product again, every sale, that's created a lot of, you can say, problem when you see the global scenario. So this is a regular feature, because frequent returns, that's an easy going way available. If you don't know, you can say, okay, I don't refund, I'll refund, but that's created a lot of issues when we talk about e-commerce consumption. That's a biggest problem. Again, day by day, recycling and reproduct, packaging, go back again, that's created a lot of, you can say, disturbance. It's the biggest drawback what I see practically.
So you feel like online shopping should be banned?
Not bad, but those who are doing shopping,
What are the advantages?
We should be more mindful.
Mindful to see, because whatever you want, you can thoroughly see that first, then take it. Don't make a practice, okay, today you get it and tomorrow again return. I see normally.
Just even the packaging.
Well, that's
has to be-
happening with the outlets too. We go, we buy, and then we find it like not that good, and we may return it.
But the ease of return which we get in e-commerce
Try
is
and-
prompting us to
Yeah.
buy more.
It all started with ease of doing things with electronic commerce, but actually it is leading to a lot of problems. For example, when it started, it was like it is an advantage. It will lead to less carbon emission. People will not move from here to there, and less pollution will be there. But ultimately, it is adding more to all those things because of landfills and because of the packaging.
Who should be held responsible then? The corporates, the
The
e-commerce sites, or the consumers?
The consumer
consumers.
has to be little mindful while using.
Why there is so much rush in malls? Consumers are just not buying from e-commerce sites only. The same kind of pattern you could see in the malls too, especially the multi-brand malls.
Maybe
So
because
is
they
this
are-
problem only persisting with e-commerce, or this is the change, the transition happening to consumer behavior?
This is a transition happening.
Let's not blame the people who are buying
This is the change in the trend.
Very
I was
good.
hurt.
Actually, this
I'll
a
just
change in the habits.
When you go to the watch, okay, you see the particular product,
Sir,
you buy it.
But
all
see,
these
there
things
is so
are
much
gives
crowd there.
comfort to us. That's why we buy it. Yes. Actually, these are give us the comfort.
But due to comfort, lot of issues are there.
Sir,
But
yes,
sir,
responsible.
agreed,
Let's not debate with him.
I'll give one example. It's
Let's
directly.
talk about, I'm so sorry, but
Yeah.
let's talk about the topic with a serious note because we all are victims and we all are culprits. That's
I'm
my
the-
observation and I wish to start with this after everyone will complete.
So, I'll just give you an example. I used to see one person every day in the lift. So I became very curious. Why is every day meeting me at the same time? I just asked him, are you staying in this block? He said, no, I'm not staying. But
Amazon delivery.
no, I'm Myntra. Then I asked him, इस ब्लॉक में 66 फ्लैट है क्या सब लोग रोज रोज खरीदे बोले नहीं खरीद भी रहे हैं रिटर्न भी हो रहा है खरीद रहे रिटर्न हो रहा है सो दैट्स व्हाट
Is it regular?
that was such a big
I'm into the gentry, sir. So
Same.
I defend myself. on this
but
one.
I'll give another example which I'm still using. So one day, not one day, it's almost 1 year now. I was just going through this thing, then I find one ad on Instagram about it, Desi ghee. I just clicked, saw it, just order for one. And when the family use it, they like it so much that now we are ordering only that ghee. So that is another benefit. So it's not that it's only a negative this thing and this
We are
thing.
getting choices.
also-
More and more choices.
Yes,
And
yes,
we
yes,
have
yes.
any
Choice.
Definitely.
And see, you can. It's like if you like a product, then you start repurchase. That's basically
What's your
consumer
call
behavior.
on this, sir?
The call is it's basically balanced one. We can't say it's overconsumption. It's yes, it's
So the
a
topic is
it's
e-commerce a
breeding
breeding ground for
overconsumption.
overconsumption and waste.
I
This
will
is the
s-
topic.
There are two parties. One is overconsumption. Second is waste.
Yeah.
Overconsumption, I disagree. Because normally what we order is almost of useful to us. Sometimes little more than that. So I won't say it's an overconsumption. Overconsumption, when I say overconsumption, we need 100 and we are buying 200. So that is overconsumption.
No, sir. If we need 100 and we are buying 101th item, it's overconsumption. We don't need it. We are just engaging our financials and we are putting ourselves in trouble. That's the study says.
But I don't think it's overconsumption because of e-commerce alone. It's also the buying behavior and buying intention of the individual.
Yes.
So I will not say the overconsumption, but yes, it's certainly leading to waste in terms of the packing material. But now these e-commerce platforms are also coming with the
Amazon is putting up the
Bundling.
sustainable biodegradable packaging material.
That's also with the blanket and
Amazon,
other.
Myntra, Azio, they are using biodegradable material for that.
And they are saying if the purchases can be bundled together.
Yeah,
that
they
is
ask for
marketing,
this.
yeah,
They
they
ask
ask for
this
it, they ask for
option. You want it in one bundle,
Mhm.
like all your orders.
And sometimes they ask also if you need a bag with it or not.
Zepto, if you order
Yeah.
with Zepto, they'll ask whether you require the bag or not.
I think the major disadvantage is impulsive buying, which is leading to overconsumption with respect to e-commerce platform. Like we see limited stocks available, offer ending soon, discounts 50%. So I think the major part is impulsive buying, which leads to overconsumption.
And who is to be blamed?
Mostly consumers and not being rational consumers, I think.
Not the
Ma'am,
corporates
I would
who are
like to
using
add-
these tactics.
Yes, I would like to add
Yes,
that
go ahead.
I think the corporates are also one of the culprits over here because I saw a documentary on Netflix. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was
the name.
about to refer to this.
Yeah.
The name of the documentary is Buy Now, the shopping
Yeah,
conspiracy.
right.
Recently, I also watched
I
that
also
documentary.
saw that
It's so beautiful.
Yes. And the documentary showed that some of the top CEOs and CFOs of the company admitted that yes, we are inducing this behavior of impulsive buying and we are guilty of it. But it is causing us, it is giving us more revenue.
It's all about profit maximization. So that's their business strategy.
Yeah. So So they admitted that they are doing something wrong and it is causing a lot of waste and the waste cannot be decomposed. But again, it's all about profit.
That's their confession.
Yeah.
What about us as a consumer?
Yeah. So in that documentary, it was about the confessions of the corporate that I was interested.
Yes.
But that's from the business
That's a
perspective.
beautiful
See,
Yeah.
as far as impulse buying is concerned, me and there was another faculty published a paper on this in Indian General Marketing way back in 2013.
No, so the situation is totally different.
Now it's
right
different.
now. Yeah.
But
So
it's certainly linked with the impulse buying. What we actually find out in that paper, it's also relevant here. This impulse buying. That's also relevant here in this
That
case.
has been actually aggravated.
Mm.
That is been
Day by
catalyzed
day.
by the corporate.
Yes.
The documentary that she is referring to, there is confession from the corporate world, high like CEOs and MDs. They did this confession that that's the part of their marketing strategy because profit maximization was the main focus and that was the goal of the organization. We all have seen. There was another documentary we could watch on Netflix, that Downfall of Boeing. That also actually happened because of profit maximization objectivity. So here it is not wrong, it is unethical.
Yes.
It is not at all wrong because businesses, we all teach our students, it is for profit maximization. Where are they wrong? It is unethical, of course, because the kind of effects that we could see now is not manageable. At one side we are talking about climate conservation, one side we are talking about sustainability, and on the other side, of course, just by having profit maximization objectives, we cannot justify our action to the society by and large. So this is one side of the story. There is another side of the story too with another documentary, but I am reserving it for the time being up to the point. Amit, Renu, Himani, Suniti, they are not going to be over with their
I
comments.
just want to add one
Yeah.
point, like at the time of this fast delivery, the next day delivery, due to that the carbon footprints are also increasing due to high transportation.
But it's a comparison. Going to the mall will equally create that kind of carbon
And
footprints.
also packaging also.
But we purchase through e-commerce more. For example, people
See,
like
Zepto is using electric vehicle.
Most of the e-commerce are
Right.
using
If I go, I don't have an electric vehicle with me. I'll go with a petrol car. With one person, I'm riding one car. So in that ways, I think so. We still have to do the study whether logistic is causing more pollution, more climate adversities or not, or other people. Right now, nowadays, if you go to valet parking of a mall, you will not find a place on Sunday, especially. That's my experience. So it means people are still rushing to the mall. But then think about those people who are buying online and not going to mall. What if they'll also be approaching to the mall? What will happen? So this is another thing that we need to think about in terms of conveyance.
And also these coupons, flat coupons, like if you suppose if you have purchased for 600